Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and in this video I'm going to talk about my experience using the Pinephone for about a month and a half as my primary phone for doing everything that I do, even making videos, and also talk a little bit about why I'm going to go back to using my Graphene OS DeGoogled Android phone for the time being. So first of all, I'll just talk about why I'm going back to the Android. But first of all, I'll mention that the Linux phone, the advantage of the Pinephone isn't really that it's Linux, it's that it has a circuit breaker in the back. So you can turn off power to the camera, to the radios, to the GPS, to the microphone, all these types of things. And what I'm imagining is the situation eventually where a lot of people are going to be refugees, and they're going to need to not be found by government. Government will be the people that you will most want to stay away from. And having a smartphone, even if you've never put a SIM card in it, having an Android phone or an iPhone, the radio is a separate entity and you have no control over it. And it can respond to signals that are broadcast from a tower, even if the phone is off, or even if you have it in airplane mode. So that's not a big deal for me right now because I'm not trying to hide from the government. But I do expect that at a certain point in the future, I will be doing that. But I want to still be able to make videos during that time because I think it'll be important to still be putting out content. Now I'll have to be really careful about how I'm doing that, but the Pinephone is really the only viable option for me to do that securely, because all Androids and all iPhones basically have a radio in them, which I don't have control over. But with the Pinephone, I do have control over it. All I have to do is flick off that switch, and the radio is not getting any power, no matter what. Definitely not. So that's an important thing. So I was planning to use the Pinephone indefinitely, but then I had it on a tripod and I was recording, and it fell over and it hit like the corner of the glass, like off of a part where the screen protector is, where it's just the main glass, and it caused a crack to go through the entire screen. And I was thinking, it is going to be really important that I have this phone when I need it. I don't need it right now, so do I really want to be putting wear and tear on this thing and then it not be available to me when the time comes? And so I've decided to go back to using the Android phone, put that thing, basically the Pinephone, into storage, so that it's available when the time comes. And I have gotten to the point where I can do pretty much everything. The only thing that I would have trouble doing, I think, would be doing podcasts and stuff like that. So, but that may not be important during that period of time. So anyways, I think I'm going to go back to the Android for a while, which is nice for a lot of other reasons. I can make videos way more quickly, way more quickly, which means that I will feel more motivated to make videos. The videos, I think, are of better quality visually. And yeah, I can make podcasts, and I can do live streams and all that kind of stuff. And basically everything is just like about 3 times faster on an Android phone. So anyways, I'm going back to that. So basically, like I said, if you're not like trying to hide from the government, like if the government's not trying to track people down and take them away to a place that you don't want to be, then a Graphene OS DeGoogled smartphone, even probably a Lineage OS or any of the other ones, assuming you know what you're doing, but Graphene OS is going to be the most secure by default. That is plenty for this period of time. And so people ask me, well, should I switch to a Linux phone? I'm like, no, I don't think so. For your purposes, really, a Graphene OS DeGoogled smartphone is going to do everything you need. The only thing you need to know about is the fact that you don't have control over the radio, and the radio, by the way, can get access. They can triangulate just by the radio your location based on the radio, but also the radio has access to GPS. So if the GPS is on, it can just send those along with the broadcast. So you're basically just having a phone on you, even if it's turned off in some circumstances. With some phones, you're basically revealing your location, which is not a good thing in a hypothetical future situation. So. But when I first started using the Pinephone, I thought that it was extremely limited. And it is limited unless like me, you spend a lot of time, like a month, looking for workarounds for every single little problem you come across. This is why you kind of need to be an expert with computers, because you can solve a lot of these problems, but some of those solutions require that you code. So, but once I had to kind of go through every little single thing that I would need. Like, okay, I need to have an email client, so I have to download all the email clients that are available for the Linux Pinephone and test them all out and figure out which one works best. And all of them have problems because most applications are not designed to work on a tiny screen. And then some of them are, but still they've got other problems. So anyways, every single thing, like trying to get Signal working, encrypted messaging, trying to get Delta Chat working, trying to make videos, basically every little thing that you want to try and do, you have to kind of think, okay, it's probably going to take me about a half a day to a day to figure out the best application to use, find out all the problems that it's going to introduce, and then find a workaround for all those problems. So that's a big problem for a lot of people, especially not technically literate people. But it was actually very satisfying to go through that process and get to a point with the Pinephone where I'm like, actually, I feel like I can pretty much do everything that I want, almost everything that I want with this thing. And the only difference is that it's slow. It's probably about 3 times slower than the Android phone that I'm recording on right now. So, and that could be solved by getting a Pinephone Pro once they get all the firmware for the cameras and stuff like that. So maybe at some point I will get a Pinephone Pro and then have the other Pinephone in the backup, and then I won't need to use Android at all. But in the meantime, I think I'm just gonna stick with the Android. Another nice advantage of Android, which I can't get on the Pinephone, is I want to be going on adventures, and a really nice thing to have is like scanned topographical maps from the USGS. It's like a government agency. USGS, I think, something like that. But anyways, it basically shows you all kinds of neat things that most people don't see on all the other maps, like the locations of springs, little sources of water. I've used those to find nice little places where I can hide if I ever need to and have water, and no one's ever going to find those. And there's all kinds of things, like mines, like abandoned houses, like things on a topo map which you're not going to find elsewhere. And you can download that to be offline, and also you can download satellite to be offline, all that type of stuff, and all that is really difficult to do on the Pinephone. So basically I've decided to go with the convenience. And I mean, I was saying that the main reason is because I don't want to wear out the phone, but that's like the official reason. But almost as big of a reason is just it is inconvenient to use the Pinephone, mostly because it's so slow, and there are a few things that I just can't do. So anyways, I feel like I repeated myself a lot in this video, but basically I just want to give you guys the rundown. You probably noticed that the videos look a little bit better, and yeah, I'm sure you'll notice differences, like the transitions don't fade to black and then out of black. They actually fade between each other, because I can't fade between each other on a command line. Actually, I probably could, but it would be really advanced. So anyways, that's a lot of blathering just to tell you that I'm going back to Android for now, after having gotten the Pinephone to the place where I'm like, I could pick this up at any point and use this to do everything, most of the things that I need to do. And that time will probably be if we get to a place where you don't want to have a phone in your pocket, even if it's off. So anyways, that's what's going on with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.